Week 3 of college football was another wild one. I don't understand this, though, y'all. How, after all the crazy games and a lot of the shakeups in the top 25, some teams impressing this week, how the hell is Notre Dame still ranked after an 0-2 start with a bye week inexplicably slipped in there, too? This is disgraceful. These cowards need to join a conference, and they are not that good. They are fraudulent. James, tell me where I'm wrong.
Well, I'll tell you the part that you are right at. One, they do need to join a conference. And two, yes, they're very fraudulent. New quarterback Carr and Marcus Freeman not taking over the defense is another thing. But, Spence, I'm going to push back on you. This team was ranked number 6. They have lost to, technically on the baby poll, ranked number 4 Miami by 3 on the road, and A&M ranked number 10 by 1. So you've lost 2 games by a total of 4 points. I'm not expecting you to drop from 6 all the way to, out of the rankings, but 24 is respectable. Now, of course, when you look at apples to apples, yeah, Vanderbilt's got a better record and a better resume. Yeah, all these other teams have better records and better resume, but if I was a top 10 team and I've lost 2 games by 4 points to the number 4 and number 10 team, I don't hate this list at all. I'm very shocked that Vanderbilt, who beat South Carolina, knocked out Sellers, and freaking South Carolina goes from 11 to unranked. That was a effing jump for me. I'm glad Clemson's more of a fraud than Notre Dame, in my opinion.
That's
I
fair.
knew you were going to say that, James.
Lord Jesus. Everyone's been talking about it all year. And we get it. Some of us probably had some of these quarterbacks top ranking. We had Cade, we had Arch, we had Lagway, and all these guys have just been bummed out. I don't know if it's going to be some new research on is this NIL and people being pampered, the not being evaluated correctly anymore. Because Spence and Jiselle, look at it. Right now, everyone only had the Clemson Tigers and Penn State because they returned their quarterbacks. Everyone else has new quarterbacks. And so far, the only ones that decently have played well, I'll give credit to Gunnar Stockton from Georgia, and I'll give credit to Dante Moore from Oregon, even though Oregon, you can say I never played nobody, but hey, they got an impressive win over Northwestern. I'll say it like this, Spence and Giselle. Looking at the AP polls, everyone's getting all bent out of shape, getting their panties in a wad about this. The thing is, if you want to rank it, then I'll be honest with you, 1 and 2 should not be Big Ten teams because Penn State has played basically nobody. So I'm not impressed with their resume. Hell, they can't even. They're 0-3 against the spread.
Yep.
They're not a good team.
Well, no, they're a good team. Good teams win, but great teams cover.
They're not a great team. As a matter of fact, why they lose all their spreads on the last play of the game pisses me off. But even like Ohio State, who you could say, yes, had an impressive one game against Texas defensively, but barely beat Ohio. I'm not going to say barely, but beat them 37-9. You should be spanking this team 50-0. In my opinion, and I hate to say it because I think this college football year is so open. I honestly think the most impressive wins is right now Miami. And I don't think Miami should be a number 1 team. But when you beat who was ranked South Florida and then Notre Dame, you've handled your business with 2 ranked wins. Of course, LSU could have had a second ranked win if it wasn't for Florida. Right now, I'd have Miami, LSU, and Georgia 1, 2, 3, and then the rest you can fill out after that. I'd have Oregon 4 as the best Big Ten team right now.
No love for A&M in the top 5 after an impressive win over the 0-2 Notre Dame.
If it's me, I have A&M above definitely Illinois, Texas, and I'll go even Florida State just because their win was on the road, unlike Florida State's win against Alabama. Those were at home. So I'll give it just a smidge of a credit. So I have A&M probably at 7, if not 6, if I'm counting this correctly.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, Spence and Jiselle, looking at some of these games and these teams, like Iowa State should not be 12. The muddy part about college football is when they expanded the playoff to 12, you knew only really 6 teams deserve it. And after that, everything else is kind of like water. And if you look at it, Iowa State is barely struggling and getting wins. Ole Miss barely beat Arkansas. Alabama, who couldn't even beat Florida State. Tennessee just losing to Georgia. So you got these weird.
That was a tough loss, though. OT.
Yeah, it was a real tough loss. I don't know how sometimes Georgia does it, but I think my 2 biggest shockers, Spence and Giselle, I really think ACC conference title game will be played against Florida State and Georgia Tech. I have no idea why, but them two teams look the most equipped and the most potential out of everything because everyone else is low key in the ACC struggling. And I'm not worried about Indiana in the Big Ten just because they play every cupcake on earth. So we'll wait until they play a real game. I am interested, Spence. I know you are, and you are Jiselle, Big 12 people to the conference of the Cougs. I'm really interested in this Big 12 kickoff game. I wish it was at 3:30 or 7 o'clock, but Utah and Texas Tech, like that's an interesting one.
It's a big one. That
Yeah.
is a big one. 16 versus 17. Yeah, we're just on the precipice of conference play about to begin.
Yeah.
Really, the only other big conference game this week, Illinois, Indiana, is kind of a big game in the Big Ten, but it doesn't feel like it's a big game yet. The
It's a
big game
basketball
of the
game.
week, that is a basketball game. The big game
Basketball.
this week is Auburn and Oklahoma. And James, how are you feeling with this John Mateer hype? Is he who you would think is the Heisman front runner right now?
For me, I don't like. I know some people have him as the Heisman frontrunner. You get an impressive win against Michigan. We can't deny that. But in my opinion, right now, this award doesn't usually go to the best players. It always kind of goes to like, oh, what you did on your team thing. I'm looking at Carson Beck. He's got 2 ranked wins under his belt, and I just cannot deny that part. Maybe that'll change. You know how SEC play goes. You play a ranked team every week, and if Oklahoma can find a way to, beat Auburn, find a way to go 10-2. Yeah, I'll give Mateer, the former Washington State Coug, that definite nod. He's right now second in the live odds at plus
Who's the
900.
favorite right now?
Carson Beck.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, and third is Gunnar Stockton, who I've been on the haterade on this guy just because the poor outing against Notre Dame in the playoff and just kind of struggling against teams like Austin Peavy and Marshall when you should be blowing out these guys. But right now it's a quarterback race, and I right now have Carson Beck at the edge, but Mateer can definitely do it if he can go 10-2 in the SEC.
Yep, I could see it happening. But y'all let us know in the comments what were y'all's biggest takeaways from week 3 of college football and who y'all got this Saturday.